The amount of information is growing every year. There are hundreds of personalized nutrition companies. There are millions of people sending in spit to hear about their DNA, right? There's all these new apps and devices to track your fitness. It's an enormous market. However, we've also seen a number of companies closing. And so even though the hype cycle is increasing, not every company is staying in business because they're not all giving us things that we can use to make decisions. I'm Samantha Kleinberg. I'm the Farber Chair Associate Professor of Computer Science at Stevens Institute of Technology, and I lead the Health and AI Lab. So if you think about, when you see an advertisement for a new device, the smartwatch or something to track your sleep or a ring, all these different form factors, we're thinking, oh, that's cool. I can learn more, right? And then there's this tenuous connection of like, somehow if I learn more, I'm able to do stuff with it. But the commercials don't really tell you how you're going to do that, right? The watches are going to tell you how many steps you walked. Maybe they'll tell you how many calories you burned. They're not very accurate at estimating that, which is a separate problem. But there's not this clear idea of what's the use case, right? What is the problem you're trying to solve with this information? The devices that we buy to track our health and fitness are not perfectly accurate, which is fine. We know that none of these, are going to be perfect. The problem is we sometimes rely on them as if they were. And so there are cases where people use the information from their Fitbit or other device to figure out, here's how many calories I'm burning in a day, so that's how many calories I can eat. And if I eat less than that, I'm going to lose weight. But if the device is inaccurate, then you're going to get a different result than you expect. You're going to end up gaining weight or something else is going to happen. If a sensor is giving you information, it's not always something you can do something about. So a lot of consumer genetic tests might tell you about risk factors that you can't actually modify. Some you can, so you can reduce your risk of type 2 diabetes. Other conditions like Parkinson's, maybe you can't reduce your risk. And so thinking about, do I want to know something that I can't change at all? I'm not against technology. I'm for thoughtful technology and technology for a particular purpose. So not, fishing expedition, let's measure everything, and maybe I can do something about it, or the extreme end where people get really obsessed with the numbers and then it sort of, takes over and drives their life and their choices versus thinking about what's actually important or what matters. So with a lot of devices, people really treat it as the gospel truth, right? That their watch tells them they walked this many steps a day and they think, that's for sure, I walked that many steps a day. A lot of them can't tell if you walked up a big hill or up a set of stairs. They get confused in the car. One device can adjust for pregnancy. So it tells people that they're getting less fit over time and that their heart rate is increasing because they happen to be pregnant. And so they're not smart in a lot of ways.